Okay, Casey, true crime. So today the title is Newlywed Husband Beats Wife to Death in Fiji Honeymoon. So yes, I just wanted to do this and share this with you guys. Have a happy Halloween. Stay safe this month. I want to see costumes. Check it out. Here it goes.
Honeymoon vacation into marital bliss. But that dream would turn into a nightmare when a newlywed bride was beaten to death at the hands of her husband. In February of 2022, Christy Chen and Bradley Robert Dawson exchanged their I do's. According to the Associated Press, Chen worked as a pastry chef before returning to school to become a pharmacist, while her husband worked in the IT department at a children's welfare nonprofit. The two appeared to have their whole life together ahead of them. That is until the Memphis couple went on their honeymoon. The couple went to an exclusive resort in Fiji that just so happened to be the exact same resort where the 1980 flick The Blue Lagoon, starring Brooke Shields, was filmed. While the Turtle Island luxury resort offered private villas, gourmet meals, and a personal concierge, it ended up being the scene of a heinous crime. On July 9th of 2022, Christy was found dead lying in a pool of her own blood inside a bungalow. The horrific discovery was made by resort staff. Officials say she had multiple blunt force injuries to her head. However, her husband was nowhere to be found, and the finger appeared to point toward Dawson as being responsible. A lawyer for Christy's family said the couple was arguing the night before over dinner, and it wasn't until the following afternoon when the couple missed their breakfast and lunch that staff discovered Christy's body. According to reports, by the time her body was discovered, her husband fled on a kayak from the resort to another island, only taking his wallet as well as passport, but leaving behind his phone and watch, which had GPS on it. Authorities were able to track Dawson down 36 hours later. According to the attorney for Christy's family, he got stuck on a remote island. Meanwhile, Dawson's lawyer previously told the Associated Press his client left the resort because he panicked and was in shock about losing his wife. Despite his so-called shock, he was thrown in jail in Fiji, charged with his wife's murder. But for Christy's family, her death was not only horrific, but they were unable to bring her home and back to the States. Her body was beaten so badly she couldn't be embalmed for her remains to be returned to the United States. Instead, she had to be cremated. Dawson pleaded not guilty to his wife's shocking death, claiming it was an accident. But it would take 2 years before the former groom would go on trial, all while remaining on the island. The trial itself took place in Fiji and lasted about a week. When the judge issued his ruling, he reportedly said he was satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that Dawson and no one else was responsible for Christy's death. He reportedly said when issuing the ruling, "For the aforesaid reasons, I am of the opinion that the defense's version cannot be believed and the same version is rejected. Having analyzed all the evidence in its totality, I am of the opinion that the prosecution witnesses were all truthful, credible, and reliable in their testimony. From the totality of the evidence, I am satisfied the prosecution has disproved the defense of provocation. Having considered all the evidence in its totality, I am of the opinion that the prosecution has proved the charge of murder against the accused beyond reasonable doubt." Now convicted in Fiji, Dawson likely won't be returning to Memphis, Tennessee anytime soon, as he faces a mandatory life sentence.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and the bell button also for notifications. Thank you guys. Bye.